Hi, and welcome to the Building Classroom Discipline PD video. My name is Sarah Martin, the Student Services TOSA. Today we're going to be talking about positive discipline, and it is an encouragement model. Positive discipline is an approach that focuses on encouraging and reinforcing positive behaviors rather than punishing negative behaviors. It is based on the idea that people are more likely to respond positively to support and positive reinforcement than they are to criticism. The behaviors that we recognize are likely to be repeated. Here are some links to research that supports this statement, and you can do a Google search and really go down this rabbit hole if you're interested in learning more. Some attributes of positive discipline include that it is kind and firm at the same time. It's respectful and encouraging. Positive discipline helps children feel a sense of belonging and significance. It is effective long term. Punishment works short term but has negative long term results. Positive discipline teaches valuable social and life skills for good character. These include respect, empathy, problem solving, accountability, contribution, and cooperation. It also invites children to discover how capable they are and to use their personal power in constructive ways. Positive discipline is designed to develop mutually respectful relationships. Positive discipline teaches adults to employ kindness and firmness at the same time and is neither punitive nor permissive. Instead of punishments and rewards, the positive discipline classroom teaches students to stop, think about their actions, and believe that mistakes are opportunities to learn, and children are learning what they live. Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about leadership styles. In a positive discipline classroom, when students work together to solve problems, they learn the tools of mutual respect, cooperation, and collaboration. Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from poor judgment. When students understand that they can learn from their mistakes, it makes them more willing to be held accountable. There are multiple types of leadership styles. Children can have natural leadership styles as well when they arrive at school. Some of these styles serve students well, and others have room for improvement. We can teach our students how to be empowered and socially conscious leaders. The Positive Discipline Program says that there are four types of leadership styles. There is a boss, a ghost, a rug, and an encourager. The encouragement tells a student that what they do is separate from who they are. It lets them know that they are valued for their uniqueness without judgment. Encouragement of a student can come from an adult or their peers. This leadership style graphic is very similar to the International Institute of Restorative Practices social discipline window with the punitive, neglectful, permissive, and restorative practitioner styles. Excellence can be achieved only by focusing on strengths and managing weaknesses, not through the elimination of weaknesses. Ineffective habits are easier to change if we replace them with empowering habits. Next, we're going to look at why people behave the way that they do. Often in education, we wonder why students behave the way that they do. And here are some factors that could relate to a student's behavior. They include genetics and environment, thoughts and feelings, self-determination, perceptions, feelings, necessity and habits, nonviolent communication, destiny, or a need for significance. And it could also be related to values, skills, teamwork, support, incentives, and environment. There are four functions of behavior according to B.F. Skinner that I'll talk about quickly. Usually, students will behave for sensory input. Behaviors that are performed to gain sensory input or stimulation, such as rocking back and forth, tapping, clicking, or repeatedly touching objects. These behaviors can be a form of self stimulation or self soothing. The next function of behavior is escape. Behaviors that are performed to escape or avoid a situation or activity that is perceived as unpleasant, uncomfortable, or undesirable. It's important to remember that this can include escaping a task that you're unable to do, such as schoolwork. Another function of behavior is attention. These behaviors are performed in order to receive social interaction or attention from others and can be either positive or negative. The updated term or way of thinking is connection seeking rather than attention seeking. And the last function of behavior is tangibles, behaviors that are performed to gain access to tangible items or preferred activities. Tangibles and escape often occur together. Next, I'm going to talk about making connections before correction. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Research has shown that very few students feel that teachers care about them unless they're getting good grades. The greatest predictor of student achievement is how much the teacher cares about their students. When students feel cared for, they want to cooperate and do not want to misbehave. And these students still will make mistakes. Students know that teachers care about them when the teacher encourages improvement rather than perfection. Some strategies that you can use to build connections with your students include the 2x10 relationship building strategy, attending student events, using community circles in your classroom, humor, posting student made items, and sharing information about your life with students. You can find information about each one of these on my YouTube channel. Next, let's talk about communication skills and building respect into communication. Factors that create a positive connection with school include having a sense of belonging and being part of a community, perceiving that teachers are supportive and caring, having good friends within the school, being engaged in their own academic programs, believing that discipline is fair and effective, and participating in extracurricular activities. Some factors that don't create a positive connection with school that we often focus on include having a good attendance record, living within walking distance of the school, and having zero tolerance programs at the school. So, cultivating respect in the classroom can happen through communication. Communication is not simply about expressing yourself. Communication includes verbal communication, nonverbal communication, micro expressions, active listening, and defenses. Here is a graph that you can see includes elements of personal communication. When we're communicating with other people, 7% of how they view us comes from our verbal communication or our words. 38% of our meaning is perceived through our voice and tone. And 55% of our meaning when we're communicating with others comes from our body language. This is an important fact for teachers to know when they're speaking with students. And it's also a really great thing to teach your students about how they can actively show respect to the adults on campus and their peers. So, some final thoughts include building positive discipline comes from a place of curiosity and collaboration. Traditional discipline may affect behavior in short term, but it does not enact long term behavior change. Curiosity, communication, and relationships should be the cornerstones of our classroom discipline programs. Here are some credits, and I'd just like to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please reach out to me if you have any comments or questions.